Hello, everyone. Hopping on a little bit earlier than I planned, basically because this new moon has me exhausted. I literally have had like very low energy, just really taking my time, going slow, and allowing my body to rest all that it needed to. And my body was also saying, why don't you hop on and do that live a little bit earlier so that way you can continue resting because we also have different things in mind for today. So at first I thought I'd hop on and do like a ritual with you guys, and then it kind of shifted. So I'm just going to follow the lead of whatever it is Spirit wants. So I'm going to oil up first. Let's see, what do I feel like oiling up with right now? I kept getting drawn to my myrrh, the oil of Mother Earth. Just smelling straight from the bottle is nice. And I've got my Forgive here too that I've been using all day. Love it. So, why work with the moon cycles? What does working with the moon cycles even mean? And listen, if you think working with the moon cycles is a bunch of woo-woo, tell that to the ocean. Tell that to fishermen. Tell that to so many other groups of people who have been working with the moon forever. Listen, you guys, if the phase and location of the moon can influence the tide and the size of the waves in the water, can influence how much fish are eating, if we really, really think that it's not influencing us, we're a little silly. So go ahead and welcome in the fact that the moon phases influence your life. And rather than working against them, you can work with them. Like I've noticed that the major moon phases of like the new moon and the full moon, like those two big end caps for me, my energies are at extremes. Like it's either extremely exhausted or extremely energized. And it tends to be that I'm extremely exhausted during the day and then like 11:30 hits and I'm fully energized. But luckily I use my oils and my tools to be able to get to sleep and to support me in my sleep. But knowing this, I can prepare for it, right? Like I've looked ahead and I've seen, okay, that's where the full moon is this month. So maybe I'm not going to plan on like booking my day super full that day. And maybe I'm going to plan on using the phase of after the full moon for resting, for reflecting, for recouping. And it just starts to flow in this really beautiful way. And so if you're starting to work, hey, Alexis, thanks for joining, girl. So if you're starting to feel like, okay, I kind of want to begin working with the moon phases a little bit more, the number one recommendation I make is to start noting the moon phase in your journal. Seriously, if you write the date, just right next to the date, right? Waxing crescent, new moon, full moon, whatever phase the moon is in, just make a little note at the top. And so that way, when you're reflecting and you're going back, you can begin to notice your unique energy patterns. Because, yes, there's some universal patterns that everybody will feel and notice, and you have your unique reaction, your unique relationship with the energy of the moon. So take the time to really honor that and to dig deeper into that as well. So depending on who you talk to, some people will say that the new moon is for releasing and the full moon is for manifesting, or they'll say that the full moon is for releasing and the new moon is for manifesting. But I say that they do both. Both phases of the moon have a letting go and a calling in energy. I like to do both at each. And so here's how I kind of decide where and how to focus that. So I take a look at my chart. If you don't have your natal chart yet, go to Astro Cafe, get your free chart, and start to look at it little bit by little bit. Do not try to go in and read it all the way through because it will get overwhelming. So you get your chart and you say, okay, so I see that the new moon is in Pisces. So where does Pisces fall in my chart? Is it my moon, which is my internal world, my feelings, my feminine energy? Is it my second house, which is the house about money and material goods in the material world? Where is the moon currently at in my chart? Because that is the area of my life, your life, that will be highlighted, that will be amplified. So for me, new moon in Pisces, that's my sun sign and my rising sign, which means that I am looking at myself. I am looking at my ego. I am looking at the me that I show the world and what that relationship is like. So take a look, find out where Pisces is at in your chart and see how that's starting to come up this week. Oh, okay. So a lot of times people will use the new moons for getting super, super clear. And while part of me thinks like, yeah, this Mercury retrograde has that energy of like bringing clarity, this new moon in Pisces to me is feeling a little bit more dreamy and a lot like spring cleaning. Like, it's like, okay, so when you're doing a deep spring cleaning and you make a bigger mess before you actually get things clean, well, that's kind of what we're doing this new moon. We're purifying, and in order to purify, we kind of got to make a bigger mess so we can see what we want to stay and what we want to go. And the full moon, you guys, is falling right on the spring equinox. And so by the time the full moon comes, we will have wanted to already have made the bigger mess. Mercury retrograde is going to support that, you guys. It's going to show us the messes that we need to make and how we need to clear them out. And so, yes, dreams are going to be super strong. Super strong. Pay attention to your dreams, you guys. Write them down. See what's coming through. So make the bigger mess. See what you need to let go of. So when spring comes and all of those seeds that you've been planting and you've been nurturing all winter long are ready to sprout, they can. Because you don't want it's the idea without doing this, it's like planting seeds without actually cleaning the soil. It's like, oh, here's some seeds, I'm just going to throw them, but like this is all concrete and weeds and not suitable for the growth that we desire. Nurture your soil this moon phase. Nurture your soil. How can you make the soil that you are going to put your seeds in the most nourishing, the most loving, the purest it can be? Anything that doesn't feel like pure love is not meant to stay. It's got to go. And you can do this in so many ways. You can use that ego spill technique that I taught you guys on day 3, I believe it was. You can, crystals, been loving crystals. If you guys like podcasts and you, one of my favorites is That So Retrograde, and they just had a former NFL player turned healer on, and he's like obsessed with crystals, and I'm pretty much obsessed with him now. His name's like Devin Cahuis. He played for the Packers, and he was on that Hard Knocks with like the Cleveland Browns. But he was fantastic. Like, you guys, he has a lifting stone, and I thought that was the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Can you imagine going to see your personal trainer, and he's just like, hey, dude, you should wear this tiger's eye necklace as you do these like dead weights because it's going to support your courage and your willpower and to keep going. I would die. I would die. So I loved that. And it was like, lit me back up about working with my crystals again. And I was already feeling that draw to them with this moon phase. And so the crystals I'm working with right now with this new moon in Pisces, keeping the idea that we're really working on purifying and cleansing and letting all of that crap go. Selenite, like the master cleanser. This will cleanse all of your other crystals. Black tourmaline is like my ultimate like negativity eraser. Like to me, this even looks like an eraser, right? And so it feels like it just erases all that negative energy. Break-headed red jasper, grounding as fuck. And my root chakra has really been letting me know it needs that extra love, that extra support. So I've been making sure to be working with this guy. And then smoky quartz. Who here loves smoky quartz, you guys? I can't get over how much I love what smoky quartz does for me. Because it feels like it just takes, when I am just feeling like disconnected from the world and like from my dreams and whatnot, smoky quartz brings me right back down in the best way possible. And is like, let's just like clear all that out and feel really good. So, yes, smoky quartz is the best. For your oils, Melaleuca, the oil of energetic boundaries. Listen, you guys, Melaleuca also helps strip like layered on negative beliefs. So when we have a belief system or a thought system that we have been just like holding on and we feel like there's layer to layer to layer to dig away, Melaleuca, I like to do it like right down the heart, right down the spine. You do that for the cleansing. So you're purifying your energy, you're stripping away those beliefs, those layered learning beliefs of like negativity. And then you use magnolia, which is the oil of compassion. And so this supports layered learning in like the loving ways. So this is going to take like all of the affirmations that you use, all of your shifts to see love instead. This is going to help your body just like really soak that in and accept it and believe it. Yes, Melaleuca is powerful. It's so powerful. I think that's why a lot of people have a mixed reaction to it because we like to hang on to our pain. And when we realize that the ego likes to hang on to our pain and we want that freedom from it, we can make those powerful shifts. And then all of a sudden you like love the smell of tea tree. Okay, so let me check back in. It's a new moon in Pisces, deep spring cleaning, making the mess before we clean it up. So you guys, we need to be engaging in activities that feel like deeply, deeply healing. So I want you to do your meditation, do your journaling, pull your cards, thinking about like that purification, thinking about what do I need to make a mess of so that way I can get that clarity. Because like I was saying, we take this time in the darkness of the new moon to go ahead and make the bigger mess. So when that full moon spring equinox comes and we see what is illuminated, we can get to work. We can get to work fast and do like quantum shifts at that time, because we'll also have that portal of the spring equinox opening. And if you're ready to call in some super powerful shit, you're going to want to have been doing this deep work. So like go back and do some of the tools that I've given you with like the ego spelling and some of that inner child work, I actually think that the inner child work didn't even get like loaded to the comment last night. So I'll make sure to do that after this. And then what are the activities that's just like, oh, you can feel it like in your gut, in your solar plexus, in your sacral, throughout your body. You're like, I know how healing that is for me. For me, like when I think about that, I think about like just like singing at the top of my lungs. Like singing and like ugly crying, right? Like singing those songs that either like get you right into that feeling, right into that messiness, and you're like just like slobbery mess crying, and then going to the songs that are like empowering, and you're like, this is who I am, this is how I desire to feel. Yes, that is the type of healing we need to be doing. So what is it that does that for you? Is it singing at the top of your lungs? Is it like just the dancing and just getting so into your body and just loving and appreciating that your body can do that? Are you a runner and running maybe does that for you? What is it? And do it. And don't make excuses. Listen, we can come up with a million excuses. Oh, what's deeply healing to me is spending time by the ocean. Well, of course, I'm right there with you 10 million bajillion percent. But I live in Michigan. That's not close to the ocean. So am I going to say like, oh, my most powerful way of healing isn't available to me, so I guess I can't do that? No. You're going to say, I'm done avoiding my bullshit. I want to have a really beautiful spring and summer where all of my hard work that I've been doing just blossoms. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a look. When I think of the word purify and purification, and what do I literally need like expelled from my body? And you're going to do it. You're going to journal it out. You're going to release the narrative. You're going to find the narrative that feels good. You're going to find that narrative through doing things like automatic writing, meditating with crystals, doing the journaling, pulling the cards. And then that spring equinox is going to come, and you are going to look around at all of the spring cleaning you just did internally and be so proud of yourself. And so when you're looking at your self-care plan, right? You're looking at your journal and your planner, and you're starting to add all those moon phases in. You're going to start to see how this all flows, and it'll feel really good. So that's why we work with the moon cycles, guys. They support us, helps us do the inner work that we need to do to see the outer world that we desire to see. So let's go ahead. Let's do a little bit of Reiki. It's not going to be a super long one because, like I mentioned, I am exhausted. But if we can do 10 minutes of just releasing some shit so that way we can do that deep cleansing that we want to do, that'll be perfect. So if you'd like some Reiki, whether you are watching live or the replay, all you have to do is set your intention to welcome it in, and it will come your way. If you've never experienced Reiki before, Reiki is super loving, intelligent energy that helps to recalibrate your energy to its like highest vitality so that you can experience that mental, physical, spiritual well-being. So I invite you to gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And so at this time, I call in the light of 100,000 angels our angels and guides, you desire to be with us today to guide this healing. And so again, if you would like to receive Reiki, simply set that intention to be open and willing to receive Reiki and trust that Reiki will flow to exactly where it is needed most. So in your mind's eye, imagine that you're just sitting somewhere outside underneath the night sky. Roots grow out the base of your spine, out of that root chakra, and deep, deep to the core of the earth, where you will remain grounded. Although we are definitely not staying on the ground. So we grow those roots, and as soon as we do, we begin to rise. And as we rise, Reiki begins to just strip away any negativity, any toxicity in the aura. We rise above the trees, through the Earth's atmosphere, until we are one with the stars and the galaxies, weightless yet grounded, floating in space but connected to the earth. And so Reiki begins to enter through the crown. And so it's almost as if we have this beautiful celestial energy coming together and is entering through the crown chakra, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root. And it travels down those roots through space. And it's almost as if a billion stars just enter into the body now, going into the bloodstream, into the cells. And it's like as soon as a star hits a cell, that cell becomes illuminated. And this dark, heavy energy is immediately released and transmuted. It's purification with the stars. Okay, and so part of just purifying the self is remembering who we are, our connection to the universe, that higher power, that we are one. And so, as if every cell in our body has been replaced with stars, and our blood becomes the Milky Way. And our bones just become one with the sky, and the chakras are internal planets. We are our own galaxy. We release anything that makes us feel less than this, less than one with the space, the sky, the moon, the stars, the sun. And we go even higher above the galaxy, entering into the space of pure white light, where we are purified on an even deeper level. Beautiful. It's like the energy of oneness and the celestial galaxies and Reiki are just purifying our souls and our bodies now. Anything that you desire to be purified now, just ask. Ask for Reiki, for your higher power, for your team of angels and guides to purify this within you. And it's like as soon as those intentions begin to be set, this white light begins glowing in the heart. And it slowly gets bigger and bigger, taking up the space of the heart, of the chest and stomach, encompassing our legs and arms, encompassing our whole body, growing even wider, the light spreading even farther all around you until there's no distinction between you and the white light that you are in. We stay here for a moment. Beautiful. And we slowly begin to make our descent, going back down into the galaxy, into the stars, down again into the Earth's atmosphere, down until we are again in that place outside beneath the night sky, beneath the new moon. This time our body's feeling purified on a whole new level. And we send Reiki down those roots, token to Mother Earth, for gratitude for all that she does. And we also send Reiki back up. And we just cleanse the aura one last time, making sure that any heaviness, any toxicity that rose to the surface is released. Beautiful. And we thank our angels and guides for being with us. And thank you, Reiki Energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, our connection is cut until next time. You may begin to gently bring yourself back to the room. Let me know how that was for you. Let me know how you're feeling. A major part of the purification process, you guys, is drinking water. So I strongly recommend that you take some time to drink some water now, and also just increase your consumption over the next few days to really support that release that we just did, and to just help your body with its natural detoxing process. So Alrighty, you guys. Again, I hope that served you. Major, same girl. I feel peaceful. Like I don't necessarily feel like extra energized, but I definitely want to go take an Epsom salt bath and let my body continue to do that purifying process as well to support it. So, alrighty, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. And I think for today, just participating, enjoying the Reiki is enough. So, do your new moon stuff, journal, pull your cards, enjoy the new moon energy. Alrighty, guys. Enjoy your day, your night.